Hey there viewers, and welcome back. I want to take a look at this sump cover. So that's going to include the governor, which we'll probably end up leaving in here. Doesn't look like there's anything too interesting. There is an oil pump, probably a little gear type pump. There's an oil filter and a pickup tube that actually, in true Honda GX fashion, has a strainer in it. So this is a lot nicer setup than the GXV 530 series that I have. This is, you know, I'm looking at the camshaft. I haven't pulled the camshaft out, but I see steel on it. I'm thinking this is like the Honda GX of yesteryear that will run for 20 plus years with like minimal love and care. So very few plastic parts. Everything seems very well built. Honda, not a sponsor. We bought these engines with our own money, so that is what I know. Let's go ahead and remove this oil filter, the oil filter housing, and the pump, and the pickup, and let's see what we got. Okay, so the oil filter, you'll have to pardon if the focus is off. I don't have, oh boy, I don't have somebody to pull focus for me, unfortunately. And this camera does not support autofocus in video mode. Boy, this little filter looks exactly like the ones that go on the little 4-cylinder cars. Like, it's not a Honeywell, but it's a Filtec. Interesting. We'll just set it aside with this side facing up. Wipe all this stuff down. Hoping we got O-rings behind, and we do, so that's super cool. I don't think you could reverse this if you wanted to. Yeah, you couldn't, you'd backflow a filter. But yeah, so we'll keep track of our two little O-rings. I'll bet you, true Honda fashion, all fasteners are the same. Yep, except for this one. So we got one short one. I'll have to review the footage and see where that one went. Okay, so if you're wondering, which you should be, where those bolts came from, the two long ones went in the bottom, and then the shorty went in the top. You can see that shorter flange distance. Everybody is equidistant once they're threaded in. I'll pull this oil pump out. Looks like it's got a spring behind it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these three fasteners that are identical out and carefully. Whole oil pump. Oh, okay. It's a rotor type pump. I wonder if these are matched to each other. Doesn't look like it. So sometimes you'll see machine marks where, you know, this outer housing is matched to the inner, and I don't see that. We do have a pin kind of holding things together here, and the spring is probably the pressure relief valve. And again, I don't see any, you know, machine marks or something for orienting the pieces. We will then separate these guys apart. We will remove the O-ring pressure relief valve spring. Eventually the outer half of this guy. We should be able to dump the check ball out. Next, we're going to go ahead and pull this guy. I'm assuming, same fastener, yep. I assume they put an O-ring underneath, and you can definitely tell too they used a Vaseline or something as an assembly grease on this engine. Probably, definitely, most definitely Vaseline or like a trans gel or something that easily dissolves in motor oil. Alright, well there you got it folks. That is the complete oil pump disassembly procedure. You definitely want to take that apart anytime you take the engine apart, because the garbage that gets sucked up by the oil pump goes through the oil pump before it makes it into the filter. So if you got scoring or anything like that on these machine surfaces or here on the rotor, I mean obviously everything is literally like brand new in this case, but you could have a low oil pressure issue. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of fussy seals or anything like that in this engine. The 530 had a few more O-rings and oil pipes and things like that in it that I don't like quite as much as this design. This seems to be very straightforward, simple ball and, you know, aluminum seat, nice nylon gear, steel shafts, nice steel webbing inside of that gear. I mean, I'm very impressed with it. It's a very expensive engine, but I think it's definitely an upgrade on the 530. So I think that engine got discontinued because rods kind of came out the side of that. So I took mine apart. I didn't see anything really strange in it. Measured up nice, but I really am happy again with the build quality of this. Not sponsored in any way. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this RTV off. I'm going to do it out in the shop. Probably not going to video that. We can use Scotch-Brite, a wire wheel, a razor blade, things like that. We'll clean all this stuff up real nice. And then when that's finished, we will put the oil pump back together.